So the shoulder, it's normally instability around the shoulder joint. Excuse me, I just want to. So it's normally instability around the shoulder joint. So it's either through dislocation. So either through dislocation, the shoulder joint normally comes out to the front. So that's your most common dislocation, to the front and to the bottom there. Rarely it goes out to the backwards, but it's mostly that it comes out to the front. So when we strap it, we want to strap it into the internal position because that just pushes the joint back, the socket or the ball of the shoulder joint back into the shoulder joint. Okay. So for this one, we will use the 75 mil. Very unstable shoulders. I would suggest getting the Leukotape P. It's just stronger, but the sports tape works perfectly. So between the two of them, I would use mainly for shoulders. I do Leukotape P because if they come with a shoulder, it's either unstable or it has dislocated sometimes or anything like that. So I'll definitely use the Leukotape P. So same principle applies here. So you'll look for the deltoid line. So that's where the deltoid attaches. So just underneath that, I would apply my first base anchor point. Just be careful when you strap it. You are strapping underneath the arm, and there's quite sensitive skin. So be careful when you strap there, especially when taking it off. You can actually rip the skin off there because it's very soft skin. So just gentle tension when you apply this. And again, don't use the limb as an anchor. Use your muscle. Use the strapping. So just gentle application. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, so next one will be over the shoulder. So it sort of covers over the AC joint, so where this vest line is, that's where we're going to cover the next base layer. If the guy is very sweaty, you can use the Fleximal just as the base cover there, so that the main points don't stick onto the skin. But you can also use the Fleximal just to attach that. So we'll just a nice broad one. And again, don't put any tension on this one because it can come off when they start playing. Because remember, your shoulder joint is one of the, especially in contact sport, is the one that moves the most, and it's constantly being rubbed and bumped and moved. So it can, take care when attaching this. Okay. So when we do for the stability, we're going to do cross movements over the shoulder joint. So we can, you can see we'll start in the middle and we'll just cross over the front, cross over to the front, and then cross over to the back. So the same for back and front is going to be the same type of movement. So we start at the back there, and I'm just going to cross. So I'm starting from the bottom, moving upwards because I want to pull this joint into the socket. So from there, create a bit of, just there over the joint line and attach in that position. Same thing in this position. From there, you can apply a bit of tension. There. And then we're just going to build. So from this one, you can actually do the whole shoulder. You can finish it up so that the whole shoulder is nicely covered. Especially with the shoulder, the more you add, the more stable the shoulder is going to get. Don't have to stop at 3 or 4 of them. And remember your 50% even overlaps. Okay, we'll stop there, and then we'll just cover cover both ends. Hopefully have enough. Okay, we'll just don't have enough. We'll just cover it just loosely like that. So you can see when we actually opens up the shoulder, how much that is restricting the movement of the shoulder. So it's actually preventing that shoulder from going forward, and the same for back. It's providing nice stability, and then it also pulls the shoulder joint into the socket, so it really protects the shoulder from both ends. That's basically the main ones with regards of shoulder. You can do AC joint strapping, so that's normally that joint that always gets hurt, specifically in contact sport. It's normally the point that gets contact quite hit quite hard. Normally you would just put a protective layer as well over it, so shoulder pad or any spongy type protection. Or what you can do is you'll just create a little star pattern. So just strap just both ends, just pull down onto the joint, just so that joint is it's been just pressed down and hold in position, because that's normally a joint that gets injured quite a lot in contact sports, specifically in the beginning of the year, when the shoulders are not yet conditioned to contact. So that's why contact fitness in the beginning is quite important. So you'll just do a few straps like that just to protect the shoulder into that joint structure. Shoulder impingement. So shoulder impingement is normally because there's less space within the shoulder joint. So you can use Leukotape K just to change a bit of biomechanics around the shoulder. So depending on, let's say, so let's say they've got rounded shoulders, so the shoulder is sitting quite in that position. You can actually strap the shoulder that it sits a bit more backwards, because with impingement, it's normally the space between the acromion and where the supraspinatus runs through is closed. So they can either be structural because of the acromion's shape, or it can be structural because the joint, let's say the shoulder head is rotated forward because of the muscles that are too strong or too weak at the back and too strong in the front. So we can just create a little bit of space in that shoulder joint with Leukotape K. So what it does involve, so you can depend, so normally between 2 or 3 little mini eye bands. So this is an eye band, so it just looks like an eye. So what you do is so you'll attach this to the front of the shoulder, and then what I tend to do is I just manipulate the joint, try to push the joint as far back as I can, or so I'll just move that joint a little bit there, and I just wrap around with the strapping. So now the strapping is pulling it backwards in that position. Add another one, so I'll just move the joint there, and that'll create a bit of space. You can see the shoulder joint just moves a bit to a different position. So as they lift the arm into the certain position, it'll just create a bit of space for the muscle to move through. So that's quite a nice technique. Or what you can do is you can use an eye band, and from there just strap the shoulder downwards. So if you take the eye band, so from that position, just improve their posture. So from the front, you'll just pull this one down like that. So that'll just open up that whole shoulder joint and the whole shoulder structure. And it should just improve their posture so they don't have those slump shoulders that's compressing onto the front. It actually opens up that joint a little bit, and then creates more space. You can also do that with the Leukotape P and the Fliximol. You'll just apply your Fliximol first, and then take your Leukotape P and just strap it over, and then it changes the whole posture of the shoulders nicely, a bit more back, and then creates space into the shoulder joint.